You felt it before. Someone hands you a small amount of authority over other people, and something in you shifts. Maybe you became the admin of a group chat. Maybe you got put in charge of a project for one afternoon, or asked to watch the front desk while your manager stepped out. Your voice got a little firmer. Your patience got a little shorter. You started enforcing little rules nobody had asked you to enforce. For a moment, you weren't quite yourself. Most people assume this happens because power reveals something ugly that was already hiding inside you. Give a person control over others, the thinking goes, and the cruelty that was always lurking somewhere underneath finally has permission to surface. But the real answer is far stranger. It has almost nothing to do with a hidden dark side. It has everything to do with a 50-year argument over one of the most famous psychology experiments ever conducted. What it actually showed, and what it quietly got wrong for nearly half a century. In August of 1971, in the basement of a Stanford University psychology building, a researcher named Philip Zimbardo built a fake prison out of a hallway. Real cell doors, cots instead of beds, a small closet for solitary confinement. He recruited 24 young men, mostly college students, screened beforehand to be healthy, stable, with no history of psychological trouble. A coin flip decided who became a guard and who became a prisoner. Nobody auditioned for cruelty. Nobody chose their role. The plan was simple. Run the simulation for 2 weeks and observe what happened when ordinary people were dropped into a system built around control. It didn't last 2 weeks, it lasted 6 days. By the second day, prisoners staged a rebellion, barricading their cell doors with their cots. The guards broke it up by spraying fire extinguishers through the bars and stripping the ringleaders naked as punishment. By the fourth day, guards were forcing prisoners through humiliating routines, pointless head counts in the middle of the night, push-ups for no reason, degrading nicknames instead of names. One prisoner, known in the records only by his assigned number, had what looked like a full breakdown, sobbing and screaming, and had to be removed from the study early. By the sixth day, a graduate student named Christina Maslach visited the basement to observe, was horrified by what she saw unfolding in front of her, and convinced Zimbardo to shut the entire study down before it caused real harm. The conclusion that made this experiment famous spread everywhere, repeated in classrooms, documentaries, even courtrooms. Ordinary people, given a uniform and a sliver of authority, will slide into cruelty almost automatically. Not because they're secretly bad people, because the situation itself, the researchers argued, pulls cruelty out of anyone placed inside it. For decades, this idea sat at the center of psychology textbooks. It became shorthand for something much bigger, that good people turn cruel the moment a system quietly tells them it's allowed. Psychologists eventually gave this supposed mechanism a name: de-individuation. In plain terms, it just means losing your personal sense of self inside a group or a uniform until you start acting like the role rather than like you. Put someone behind a mask, a badge, or a costume, the theory goes, and their individual identity fades into the background while the group's identity takes over. For decades, this single concept was treated as the explanation for the entire Stanford story. A mirrored sunglasses prop the guards wore, hiding their eyes from the prisoners, was held up as proof. Take away a person's face, the thinking went, and you take away their conscience along with it. Here's the part almost nobody got told for nearly 50 years. Did the guards actually slide into cruelty entirely on their own, simply because a mask and a uniform erased their sense of self? In 2018, a French researcher named Thibault Le Texier got access to archives nobody had fully examined before, audio recordings from inside the basement, handwritten staff notes, internal planning documents written before the study even began. What he found rewrote the story most people thought they knew. The guards weren't spontaneously discovering a hidden capacity for cruelty buried inside themselves. They were coached. The recordings show Zimbardo's own research staff explicitly briefing the guards beforehand, instructing them to create a sense of powerlessness in the prisoners, suggesting specific tactics, nudging individual guards when their behavior went too soft for what the study seemed to want. One guard later said in an interview that he wasn't discovering some dormant cruelty at all. He was simply performing what he believed the researchers wanted him to perform, the way an actor performs a part once they understand what the director is looking for.